Unit 2. Skills Focus. Listening. Page 23.
The most important thing when interviewing a candidate is his character, his ability to react, his intelligence, and his suitability for the position for which he has been interviewed.
And to what extent does the person's appearance influence your decision?
It doesn't influence the decision, but it does have some bearing on the decision. If you can take the difference between the two, it is important that the person is well presented, is neat and tidy, and that he has a good manner, because that shows a lot about his personality.
Do you expect the candidate to be prepared in any way for the interview, or how should he prepare himself for the interview? Well,
it's not a question of preparing himself. In the position which I am, normally the candidate has had at least one or maybe two interviews with other members, more junior members of staff before he gets to my level, unless the particular candidate is going to report directly to me, and in which case I expect the person concerned to have a fairly good knowledge of, one, what the company does, two, what he's going to be expected to do, and three, who he's going to report to. Those three items are very, very important, and if the candidate does not give an impression of either understanding one of those three items, then obviously then he gets marked down accordingly.
How does a candidate go wrong?
The major way a candidate goes wrong is by basically becoming a yes man or a yes woman and agreeing with everything you say. What is most important, one of the most important things about interviewing a candidate is the chemistry between the two people in that interview. It's very, very important. He has to have a spark. You have to feel as though that guy's going to contribute, that guy's going to be good, and you're going to get something out of that person. And he has to show himself to be not just, yes sir, thank you very much, yes I agree with that, I agree with that, I agree with that. Sometimes I lay dummy questions in which I want a no answer, and if he continues to say yes, then he goes down.
What would your advice be to a candidate going to an interview? How would you advise him?
The first thing I would say to him is, first of all, to listen. Secondly, to ask the right questions. And thirdly, and perhaps the most important, is to create the right kind of relationship, which is, I guess, is what you call an adult-to-adult relationship with the interviewee or the interviewer. It is very important, and I think what I said before is when you get a yes man in front of you or a yes woman, then the person is obviously not creating an adult-to-adult conversation. He's creating an adult-to-a-child conversation. And in most cases, managers are not. If they're good and they know what they want, they're not going to be interested in employing a child.